word perfect, I think about simply not having fault. Well, Marc Jacobs has a fragrance, Perfect, but now he's just recently released a fragrance, Perfect Intense. So would you say stick to the perfect? We don't need any changes? Or Tanya, do you think we absolutely need a Perfect Intense? If you want to know more about my thoughts as it pertains to the new release Perfect Intense, then you should definitely continue watching. Good people, happy Sunday and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Tanya Felice, and here on this channel we chat about all things fragrance, beauty, love, life, and whatever else I decide to chat about. Guys, if you are my subscribers, hello, good people. How are you? How has this summer been treating you? As a matter of fact, how has the last few weeks been treating you? I know I've been out and about traveling for my I was about to say honeymoon, but it can be my honeymoon. But traveling with my husband for our 15-year anniversary, and then we traveled with my baby girl to New York for her 10-year anniversary. So I have a lot of fun videos coming up for you, just kind of sharing fragrances that I found, that I've encountered, fragrances that I wore. But today, guys, we are focusing specifically on a new release by Marc Jacobs, and it is Perfect Intense. Now, guys, if you are new here and you have yet to subscribe to my channel, if you enjoy the content today, I will ask you to stop and subscribe. If you like the content today, go ahead and hit that like button. And guys, don't forget to turn on your bell notifications so that you are notified whenever I upload a video. So without further ado, let's hop right into this review. Okay, so for those of you who are not familiar with the fragrance Perfect, it's a fresh, bright, fruity, fun, effervescent type scent. It's one that I like to throw on if I'm just running a quick errand, if it's absolutely blistering heat outside and I don't want to put on anything that's overpowering. It is absolutely the perfect scent for those type of environments, kind of like your everyday, casual, even like a nice spring, summer type of dress, like just chilling in the park, doing a quick picnic. Maybe you're at a jazz concert and you don't want anything too heavy or overbearing. Perfect is the absolute scent for that. So a lot of times I've heard people say like, I've bought this for my niece, I've bought this for my younger daughter. But I oftentimes hear women say, I absolutely wear this as my signature scent, or I just love the way this makes me feel, dainty and girly and very ladylike. So those are some of the things that I've heard about this fragrance. So the marketing around this fragrance is Marc Jacobs is saying that he just thinks that everyone should embrace their perfect selves, loving you just how you are. You were perfect the way you were made. And so I absolutely love the motivation behind the fragrance and the concepts behind the ideas. And some of the notes, in Perfect, the original, is rhubarb, almond milk, and cashmere. I'm gonna go ahead and take a spray of this scent, guys. Like I said, never bought a full bottle of it, but I do think it is a very just pretty scent, a pretty perfect scent. So this immediately, I get a burst of a bright, fruity floral. That's what comes to mind for me when I smell this scent. Very much so easygoing. That's just what I get from Perfect. But then I walked in the store a week ago and my favorite rep was like, hey, Marc Jacobs came out with Perfect Intense. So I'm thinking, Perfect Intense, is this gonna be the older sister to Perfect, or is it just gonna be a little bit deeper in terms of the notes, the characteristics, and the smell that it gives off? So if I had to say what I loved most about the packaging of these two fragrance bottles, I would absolutely say that I love the detail to the bottle top. I think they're very cute and unique. They just simply remind me of organized chaos. Of course, Perfect screams spring and summer, whereas Perfect Intense screams fall and winter. So I went in the store, sprayed the fragrance, and immediately, when I first sprayed this fragrance, I thought about popcorn. Why? Because it is a heavy, buttery almond note that stands out in this scent that is absolutely prominent. So then I said, well, wait, let me go back, because after I smelled popcorn, I said, okay, I'm not trying to smell like the movie theater, okay? I love movies. I love going to the movie theater, but I don't want my scent to smell like the movie theater. So I said, let me just give it a break. Let me walk away from it. So I came back and revisited the scent this week. So I'm going to go ahead and spray it on this arm so that I can do a good comparison for you. Immediately, when I sprayed it again this week, I thought to myself, I said, okay, Tanya, have an open mind, really digest the fragrance, see what it's bringing. So I took a peek at the note breakdown. So we have narcissus, we have night bloom and jasmine, in which jasmine is just one of my absolute favorite notes and fragrances. And then we also have golden roasted almonds. Now, what I will say is this. Remember when I said that popcorn note is prevalent? It's the golden roasted almonds that I get from this one. Immediately when this opens up, the almonds pop out. They pop out. But if you know the scent of Perfect, that DNA is still there. That very fruity, floral vibe is still there from that rhubarb. Although the rhubarb is not here, they've created a vibe that kind of puts you in the mind of the original Perfect. But this Perfect is a little bit deeper. It's a little bit more mature. I wouldn't say that it's more bright and effervescent and feminine. I don't get that vibe. While it is a very much so feminine forward, floral type of vibe that you get from this scent, it is not the young and the fresh and the vibrant type of scent that you get from the original Perfect. If you are an almond lover, this may be one that you might absolutely love. At first, I was saying, exit out, pack it up, go home. This is not my vibe. But when I sat down with it again, I said, okay, someone who loves a good almond note and fragrance, someone who loves to get a nutty vibe from their fragrance and can appreciate it with a little bit of floral, you may actually love this scent. So for me, if you ever get your nose on it, or if you're interested, I'm going to say to you to expect the unexpected. And that could be a good or a bad thing, because for me, even with me going in and smelling it now, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I would not need a full bottle of this one. Even with me having this sample, I'm going to more than likely give this sample away. Because it's nothing that I would ever wear. But I will say that I see where Marc Jacobs was going with this scent. And I say this because Byredo put out a fragrance, not only my Mixed Emotions by Byredo, Tom Ford put out Soleil Brûlant, and Clive Christian put out a fragrance too, and I cannot think of the name of it, but I put my nose on it several times. They all have very much so unique type of vibes happening there, whether it be earthy, a little nutty. This is what happened with this Marc Jacobs Perfect Intense. Now, if I was to say, which one would I wear right now in the middle of the summer if I only had two fragrances in my collection, and that's Perfect and Perfect Intense. The only one that I would wear would be Perfect. That's all. I wouldn't probably pick this one up. When it gets colder outside, I may absolutely have to go back, eat crow, whatever you want to call it, because it may give me a different vibe. But right now, in the heat of the summer, it's not one that I would want to put on. Now, Tanya, does it have a level of sophistication? Does it have a level of class? Tell me more in that aspect. I will say, if I was going in a classroom, if I was going into an office building, if I was going to teach a seminar, this may be a fragrance that I want to put on in terms of the two, because it is the one that has a little bit more of a conservative, classy, floral type of vibe going on. But would I want to wear it every day? Would I want to smell like it every day? Probably not. I also know that one of Marc Jacobs' mantras is, I am perfect just the way I am. So if you feel that Perfect is the fragrance for you and you absolutely love the vibe, I say that you go get your nose on Perfect Intense because it is worth a sniff. Like I said, it does have a very unique and nutty undertone to it, but that may be your vibe. And if that's your vibe, go ahead and get your nose on it. One last thing, I did talk with some of the reps from different stores just to kind of get their opinion. Like, what do you think about this fragrance? And my favorite rep from one of the counters that I always go to, he was just kind of like, no, it's not doing anything for me. One of the ladies at another counter, she was like, absolutely not. And I was like, I said, well, I probably won't review this one because it's not really my forte. And she said, you should absolutely review it. She said, because people want to know about this fragrance. And so I stepped out of my comfort zone and I made this video for you today. So tell me in the comment section below, do you want me to make videos of fragrances that maybe a new release and I'm just not feeling them? Or do you prefer me to continue making videos of fragrances that I'm absolutely in love with and I think that you too should have it in your collection? Leave it in the comment section below. Now guys, if you want to know something that I could compare Perfect Intense to, I would say definitely, like I said before, it has the perfect DNA for a smidget of the time. Then that kind of dissipates to me. But I thought about Jo Malone's Scarlet Poppy. They have a very almond prominent note in that fragrance, but it's done well. The almond is soft, kind of creamy. This almond in Perfect Intense is more of a buttery type of almond. It's because it is a golden roasted almond, so it does give a different vibe and a different effect off. So guys, that's all for now, and I will definitely see you in my next video. Bye now. Let's stay connected on Instagram at It's Perfectly Peachy.